Today, Prince George's County teacher Mark Cobb from Cooper Lane Elementary School in Landover Hills was held without bond after his bond hearing this afternoon on one count of sexual abuse of a minor, one count of child pornography distribution, and 9 counts of possession of child pornography. I'd like to thank our young victim for coming forward. I'm sure that it took courage. I also want to thank our law enforcement partners for, number one, believing our victims. It is so important that we start from a place of belief, and we also start from a place of support. And so we will continue to support our victim and any additional victims who may be discovered throughout this process. This is a very serious case. It's very concerning. The facts of this case are unimaginable. And to know that there was someone in our school system who preyed upon young children it's unthinkable. We will get justice here in this courthouse. I'm committed to that. The Special Victims Unit in my office is second to none, and they are all committed to seeing this case through. As we move forward, we will certainly keep you all involved and keep you up to speed on any additional developments in the case. But just know that it is not over. This is just the beginning. This charge, this bond hearing today is just the beginning of what will be a long and difficult process moving forward. But again, we are committed to getting justice. So Ms. Updike, who was present at the bond hearing today, though brief,
yes,
will give additional specifics around the case.
Hi, my name is Ellen Updike. I'm the Assistant Chief of the Special Victims Unit here. As State's Attorney Braber already mentioned, Mr. Cobb, his attorney decided to waive his bail hearing, so he is continuing to be held without bond. As I believe you all mostly already know, Mr. Cobb teaches at Cooper Lane Elementary School. A 9-year-old student reported to her mother that he had asked her for naked pictures, and when confronted with that, he admitted that he had done that. During a search warrant at his home, police found hundreds of files of child sexual abuse material, also known as child pornography, and he has been charged with that as well. We would encourage any other victims to please speak to the police. We will handle your case with the same care that we handle all of our cases.
Do you have any information as to whether these other victims on camera or on video that was found at his home may have been Prince George's County school students?
I do not have any of that information right now.
I take it that's part of the investigation?
Yes.
Yeah, that is part of the investigation, which is why, again, we say this is just the beginning. The police recovered a number of pieces of footage that will have to be examined. We will work with our police department to try to identify each and every victim and ensure that they get any services that they need, and also that they understand that this justice system here applies to them too, and that we will work very hard to secure justice for them. These young people who unfortunately were preyed upon by a teacher, they have been traumatized. This could impact them for the rest of their lives. Not just them, but their families too. Because when a child is abused, those parents, especially those who are non-offending parents, they go through a lot of grief as well. Oftentimes they feel like they could have done something to protect themselves, and oftentimes there's nothing that they could do because they have a right to believe that the teachers in our school system are there to support and encourage and nurture our children and not to abuse them. So when someone does, it is our job to provide services for everyone.
Ms. Brayboy, your reaction to the charging document indicating that this was going on with this young girl for more than a year, and then according to your prosecutor here, this young girl suddenly decided to speak up to her mother. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I'm so proud that she spoke up. but this is not unlike other cases involving young victims. Sometimes they don't understand what's happening to them. They're confused. These are individuals who are in positions of trust. So she had a right to trust her teacher. And so those teachers and those who are, preying upon children, they are grooming children for their own personal sick desires. So unfortunately, we have seen this type of thing before, but what we don't always see is a victim who speaks up. And so we hope that this encourages other victims to speak up and to get justice. And we are here for that, yes.
Ms. Brayboy, as you mentioned, that this is not the first time that you've seen this. How does this compare to previous cases?
I think that what is different here is probably the amount of material that we got, the types of conversations that were had with a 9-year-old. I mean, I just can't imagine how sick a person has to be to have this type of conversation, a very sexually explicit conversation with a 9-year-old. With a 9-year-old. It's outrageous. So the facts of every case are heartbreaking. This one is beyond what anyone could imagine. But our job is to get justice, and that's what we're going to do. And again, if there are any other victims out there, please come forward. Parents, talk to your children. Please talk to your children. Don't be afraid to have the conversation, because you could be saving their life.
Do you know if anyone else has come forward since the story broke?
At this time, we are still, in conversations with the police department, so we can provide updates as the story unfolds. We expect, that if additional victims are local, that they will come forward to us. But at this time, we have the one victim that we know of, but we do have images of other victims, and we're going to try to identify them.
What's the potential penalty in this? And if you could step up to the mic, please.
Sure. Let me look at my answer before I misspeak. So he's charged with one count of sex abuse of a minor, which carries a maximum penalty of 25 years. He is charged with 9 counts of possessing child pornography, which is a maximum of 5 years, and then child pornography promotion or distribution, which is a maximum of 10.
On the
Can you spell your name for us, please?
Sure. My first name is Ellen. Last name O, P as in Paul, D as in David, Y-K-E.
And on the second charges of the 9 counts, each one is punishable by up to 5 years.
That's correct. Yes.
We had come across what we believe is a LinkedIn page that indicates he might have been operating a photography business as well. Have you looked into that and as a possible potential avenue that he would have met other, I know it's,
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. We are, again, at the beginning stages of this. The police do a phenomenal job. I can just tell you, the Special Victims Unit and the police department works hand in hand with us every day on these types of cases. They do a phenomenal job of investigating every lead, and I do believe that they will investigate that lead as well. And again, as we discover new information, if there are new charges, we will absolutely inform the public. It is very important that the public is aware of this case, because we know that there are other victims out there. Sometimes we think that there might be other victims. In this case, we know that there are other victims out there, and we want to get justice for them too.
And contact Prince George's Police County.
Contact the Prince George's County Police Department if you have any information relating to this case.
Cesar, do you have any comment on preventative measures? I know that the school system does do background checks, and somehow this is still occurring. Do you have any response to that?
I think that, parents can be the first line of defense. I mean, the parents have to talk to their children, even if they're not expecting someone at the school system to have inappropriate conversations or have inappropriate touching. you got to ask your kids, has anyone made you feel uncomfortable? Has anyone touched you inappropriately? Has anyone asked you for anything that's inappropriate? Because technology is so available, even to our youngest kids. Everyone has a cell phone, they have an iPad or a laptop or a tablet that, you know, these types of communications, sending images that are exploitive, those things are more accessible. And so I think that parents have to look at what their children are doing with their electronic devices. I'm not saying you've got to watch every movie your child makes, but you have to be conscious of what they're doing, because there are other people out there, again, who are in positions of authority, who are in positions that should be positions of trust, that will exploit your children. So you have to be defensive. So parents, please monitor your child's device, ask the tough questions. Also in the schools, I think it's very important that the schools continue to advise young people and children of their rights, and let them know if anyone says anything to you that you are uncomfortable with, you report that. If you're unsure, report it anyway, because someone in a position of trust can investigate and determine whether or not something has happened or if something did not happen. But the point is, we need communication. So parents have to be that first line, and the schools, I think, also have to continue to advise young people of their rights.
One last question. Seeing none.
Well,
Thank you. Oh,
yes.
just Dave.
And I don't know how, the 9-year-old.
I'm sorry,
Oh, no,
I see Chair of our council.
I thought it was me.
Oh,
No,
okay.
the 9-year-old simply reported this to her. Can you say anything more about what led to the reporting and why this happened now from this 9-year-old after a year?
Say that again.
Just the timing of why the 9-year-old reported this at this time.
You know, I don't know if we know why she reported it at this time. Do we have any information on that, or is that still
Not
kind of
really.
yeah? So that's not something that we provide you an answer with at this time.
And I'm sorry, it's pronounced Updike, but it's spelled with the O is the
Yes.
first letter. Okay,
It's
cool.
so fun.
I just wanted to be sure.
I answer to all variations.
All good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.